At first glance, tech products in 2026 look polished, modern, and refined. But look closer and something stands out. They also look familiar. Interfaces feel safer. Design changes are incremental. Radical visual shifts are rare. For an industry once defined by bold experimentation, that sameness is not an accident. Why tech companies are playing it safe with design in 2026 has very little to do with creativity drying up and everything to do with risk, economics, and trust. This is the era of cautious design. For most of the last decade, design was a growth weapon. New layouts, bold aesthetics, and disruptive interfaces signaled innovation. Companies use design changes to reintroduce themselves to users, reset narratives, and spark engagement. If something didn't work, teams iterated quickly and moved on. That mindset has changed. In 2026, design decisions are no longer just about delight. They are about retention, stability, and minimizing downside. Every major interface change now carries measurable risk: user confusion, workflow disruption, backlash on social media, and even revenue loss. At scale, a small design mistake can impact millions of users instantly. That reality has made companies defensive. One major reason tech companies are playing it safe with design is audience fatigue. Users are tired of constant changes. Over the years, people have adapted to endless redesigns, new icons, shifted menus, and altered gestures. What once felt fresh now feels exhausting. Today, users don't ask for novelty, they ask for reliability. Companies have noticed. Usage data shows that drastic design changes often lead to short-term spikes in attention, followed by frustration, complaints, and churn. In response, design teams are being pushed to optimize for familiarity over surprise. Another factor is that tech products are no longer optional tools. They are infrastructure: email, payments, navigation, cloud storage, collaboration software, and platforms that power daily work and life cannot afford to feel unstable. When design becomes part of critical workflows, experimentation becomes dangerous. Design teams are being told to do no harm. This conservative approach is reinforced by the rise of AI-driven interfaces. AI systems rely heavily on trust. If users don't understand what the system is doing or why, they disengage. Overly experimental design makes that trust harder to maintain. So instead of reinventing interfaces, companies are wrapping AI features inside familiar patterns. Buttons look the same. Menus stay where users expect them. The innovation happens under the hood, not on the surface. That's not a lack of ambition. It's a strategy. Legal and regulatory pressure also plays a role. As tech products face increased scrutiny, design choices can have compliance implications. Accessibility, transparency, consent flows, and disclosures are no longer secondary considerations. They are design constraints. Safe design is defensible design. Another reason tech companies are playing it safe with design in 2026 is internal economics. Design changes are expensive. They require retraining users, updating documentation, reworking support systems, and managing edge cases across devices and regions. In an environment where companies are already cautious about spending, large-scale redesigns are hard to justify, especially when the upside is uncertain. There's also the reality of global scale. Products are used across cultures, age groups, and technical abilities. What feels intuitive to one group can feel alien to another. As user bases grow more diverse, design converges toward the lowest friction common denominator. That convergence often looks boring, but it works. Brand risk is another powerful force. In the past, a bold redesign was seen as leadership. Today, it can be interpreted as instability. Users question motives. Investors question focus. Media frames changes as desperation or distraction. Playing it safe with design protects narrative as much as usability. Importantly, this doesn't mean design teams lack ideas. On the contrary, many radical concepts are being explored internally, but they are tested quietly, rolled out slowly, or confined to niche features. Public-facing design remains conservative, while experimentation moves behind the scenes. That split is intentional. Another subtle reason for safer design is competition. As platforms mature, differentiation through interface alone becomes harder. When products offer similar capabilities, dramatic design divergence can confuse users switching between tools. Familiar patterns reduce friction and lower switching costs. In a crowded market, Familiarity becomes a competitive advantage. There's also a generational shift happening. Early tech adopters once enjoyed learning new systems. Today's mass users prioritize efficiency. They don't want to explore. They want to complete tasks quickly and predictably. Design that gets out of the way wins. This changes what good design means. Why tech companies are playing it safe with design in 2026 ultimately comes down to incentives. Teams are rewarded for avoiding mistakes, not for taking risks. Metrics favor stability, engagement retention, and support ticket reduction. Radical design carries asymmetric downside with limited upside. In that environment, safety becomes rational, but there's a trade-off. When everyone plays it safe, products blur together. Innovation becomes harder to see. Design loses its storytelling power. That creates an opportunity for newcomers who can afford to be bold because they have less to lose. History suggests that cycles matter. Periods of conservative design are often followed by breakout moments when someone breaks the pattern and redefines expectations. But those moments usually come from the edges, not the incumbents. For now, big tech is optimizing for trust, scale, and predictability. Design is treated as infrastructure, not expression. Changes are subtle. Evolution replaces reinvention. So if tech in 2026 feels visually quieter, less dramatic, and more restrained, that's not coincidence. It's a reflection of an industry that has grown up, taken on responsibility, and decided that in this phase, safety beats spectacle. At least until the next disruption forces everyone to take risks again.